And Grant, you can start with your 5 things on normalcy, because this is what happens every
Yeah,
time.
and by normalcy, I mean us dropping points at Old Trafford. I mean,
Yeah.
I came in here really confident last week, and I don't think that was out of line. I think given what we've seen with United, like I'm excited to watch them every week because they're entertaining as a neutral. It's like, oh, they're gonna do something. Like that Burnley game was electric, even though they won. But we lost. And the first thing I learned is right after I gave him all the deserved praise, Robert Sanchez is still Robert Sanchez. I do think off of merit and recent performances, he did earn the right to be our goalkeeper. I think all goalkeepers make a lot of errors, and it's just highlighted because typically it'll cost you a goal. Um, but this is why I was really excited when the Mayon links came out. I thought that was a top level keeper that would allow us to play the way we wanted to play. Um, but I thought, you know what? After the performances over the summer, I think Sanchez will be all right. I still don't think we're competing for the title. I don't think we're going to win the Champions League. I've seen worse do it, so I'm not going to really get too upset about it. But it's just a friendly reminder. As soon as the transfer window's closed, he's still the same keeper. Hopefully, he can bounce back from that. But that was bad. That was really bad judgment from him. Always kind of goes to what I've said in terms of him thinking. You can't give him time to think about his decision, or else something like that will happen. Um, on to number 2. I don't think these defenders are good enough for where we're trying to be in terms of where we're competing. I think I've spoken about it before. I think the reason behind it is the pathways that we're looking at and the guys under our umbrella out on loan. But they're not here right now. Fofana's not 100%. I don't think he ever will be. Tosin and Trev are not enough at this level, week in, week out, every game. And they're good players, but kind of similar to what I said about Jackson, when you're asking him, hey, you're our only striker here, you need to produce, you need to get us back to the Champions League. He shouldn't be in that position. I don't think Chalobah and should be in the position they're in right now. I didn't even mention Badiashile because he's also always injured. No fault of his own, but he's also never available. So again, that's all that's there. Achampong's the only other guy. I need to see him play in competitive games. He'll probably play in the Cup tomorrow, but I'm convinced he's our best defender off talent, regardless of his age. Bournemouth tried to sign him as soon as Huijsen left. Bournemouth's a different level, but I think he would have started week in, week out there, and I think he would have been really good. And I think if he never came from our academy and we saw a teenager playing like that at Bournemouth, we'd bid 60 million. So I think we need to give him a chance. We got to see what he's capable of. I think it's a lot. On to number 3, I think our sporting directors are still idiots. Dylan, I think you correctly called it out. I think you correctly called it out before when the window was still going on. But as soon as Colwell got hurt, you were like, Maresca's asking for a center back. And we said we're not going to sign one. I coped. Club World Cup champions are on the jersey. Oh, bro, they just meant a solution internally. We'll figure it out. We have enough guys there, pathways. Cope. He wanted a new back because Colwell is integral to how we play. I think it speaks to the inexperience of the manager, and I think that's in terms of abilities to adjust, right? I think he's a top-level manager, but because of the lack of experience, when he doesn't have a player capable of doing what Colwell could do, how do we adjust? I think that's a problem. And when Tosin's in there, he does the job on the ball, does a fantastic job there, but it doesn't allow us to press the way we want to press. We can't mark man for man and have center backs jumping into midfield when it's Tosin as the 1v1 guy, because as we've seen, when he's exposed 1v1 just running into space, an attacker running at him, it's not a good spot for him. He's not going to do very well in those situations. So, you know what else he wanted? A new goalkeeper. So the sporting directors let him down, but hey, they got their extension. So buckle up, boys. It's going to be a ride. Number 4, fitness issues remain on the forefront. I will continue to sound like a broken clock, whether it's the Club World Cup, whether it's other external factors. these guys are exhausted. Guys are dropping like flies. Palmer's the latest victim from what came out today. I don't know if you guys are up to speed. Not looking good. Not looking good at all. Essentially, I'm trying to pull it up right now, but something where it's not black and white. He's not gonna. It's either a surgery or a maintenance thing, but it's a groin issue. It's a muscle thing. It's been lingering since the summer. Not good. We didn't sign Xavi Simons. We don't have cover for him. It's Buonanotte. It's Esteval. So now Neto's got to play every game out wide. He's got an injury history. He was healthy last year. So again, a lot of question marks. Guys are going to have to prove their worth. They're going to need to show that they're reliable. I really hope that that's the case. But again, starting to not trust our directors again. But contradictory to everything I just said, my last and fifth point is the season is not over. A lot of doomers in our fan base. I think I spoke about it on the day. I think I talked to you about it, Facundo. But United are always on top or at their best in the game at the beginning. I'd say like 15 minutes, like they start really well and then they kind of fall back into their old ways, their losing ways. But survive that opening sort of gut punch that they'll hit you with, and then you're good. That's the blueprint. Less than 5 minutes in, red card. Right? I mean, and then Palmer comes off hurt. Yeah, I mean, it's very disappointing to lose to that team just because I know how bad they are. Like, I'm not even trying to rile Dylan up or anything. Like, they have not been good. There's a reason that guy's hair is as long as it is. So to just shoot yourself straight in the foot like that, it's very frustrating. It leaves you feeling really upset at the end of it because you know you should go in there with 3 points and leave with 3 points. But all things considered, this season's not over. We need to relax. We need to stop dooming. I think there's going to be problems that need to be addressed, but I do have faith in this manager. And I think there's enough in the squad to survive. I still don't think it's going to start clicking in terms of competing for top trophies. And I think going back to Jamie Carragher talking, believe it or not, his whole point, he said it on the weekend, was like, in all this time to spend all that money, you can't rock up to Old Trafford with those center backs and that goalkeeper. He's right. He is right about that. Heartbreaking. The worst person you know made a great point. That's what that is. But he's spot on. It's going to be tough. We're going to have our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, it's not over. I think we'll be all right, but it's a difficult spot we're in right now, all things considered.